We have the first federal support park in the United States. She's been working on this for 30 years, but this is really important. And it's important for every age group. Here's why. It is true that about 85% of the architecture of your brain is formed in the first 3.5, 4 years. But it is also true if the architecture is there, we know from recent studies that new neural networks, that is new intellectual capacity, can be developed in the brain even in people in their late 60s. That would be me. And why is that important? Because if you live to be 65 in this country, you've got a life expectancy of 85, and you need to stay healthy and alert and alive, and you need to volunteer to help people solve problems. Some people will even have to work. But if we don't do that, then we're going to bankrupt our kids and their ability to raise our grandkids. And it all starts with pre-kindergarten. That's a big deal. So, that's important. It's important that young people be able to go to college and not be crippled with debt when they get out, and even worse, not drop out before they get a degree because they think they can never pay the debt off. And I knew Terry was on the right track when he told me a year ago he was going to visit all the community colleges. Why? Because they work the way Virginia ought to work, they work the way America ought to work, they work the way the world ought to work. I mean, think about it. They're open to everybody. No discrimination, whatever category, none. You show up, they're mostly affordable, and they give you instruction that is highly relevant to the economy in which the college is located, and they stay in close touch with the economy and the business people, so they keep changing the instruction as the economy changes. There's no Republican or Democrat way to do that, as I can tell. You're either going to fund those things or you're not. To keep them affordable, keep high-quality people teaching there, keep the things changing, and make them work. That's what works in the modern world. And finally, if you want more jobs and higher pay, you have to do two things. You have to do the things that will generate more employment, and you have to constantly change the job mix so you're getting more jobs that pay more money, and gradually you lift everybody. One of the things I am proudest of is the only time since the mid-70s when each 20% of our economy, from the lowest to the highest, increased their incomes almost identically. And by percentage was in the last 6 years I served. Now, we worked hard on that, and that can be done. But Tara's got the right priorities. But the third thing is the most important of all. He's got the right philosophy. You cannot create a growing economy. You cannot modernize your education system. You cannot modernize the infrastructure if you spend all your time fighting over things that divide us and majoring in the minors. The United States was hurt. Don't kid yourself. We were hurt badly. I think it's temporary. But we were hurt badly in the rest of the world by this government shutdown and the suggestion